Emostel.
Hello, you're welcome to this video, and in this video we'll be treating series and sequence, kind of like the long-awaited topic. Okay, so let's go. Actually, what is a series? What do we mean by series? You see, series is just like a succession of numbers of which, each number is formed according to a definite law, which is the same throughout that series. This is how it goes. If you have a set of numbers that are arranged, and the way the first number comes, the way every number in that set, every number in that line, the way they are being generated, they are following a particular formula. If you have any arrangement of numbers of such, then you have what we call a series. If there is a common formula or a general structure that determines the formation of numbers, of successive numbers, that is the numbers that follow a particular number and then the one that follows it and the one that follows it. If there is a general formula that determines it, like it's not as if the numbers are formed randomly, no, but because they are formed according to a particular rule. Anytime you have anything of such, it means that you have a series. Take, for instance, if we consider even numbers. If I arrange even numbers like, let me say 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, and so on, if I arrange them like this, you will see that the thing that determines the next number is a particular rule. The rule is just that multiply or maybe you add 2 to the previous number and you get the next thing. Add 2 to the previous number and you get the next thing. I'm just giving you an example, okay? But then if you want to create a structural formula for this, it is not as simple as you saying just add 2 and you get the next number. To create a structural formula for this, you have to be mindful of the position. You need to create a formula in such a way that once you have the formula, you can use it to predict anything, any position, and the value of any number in any position. If I'm just talking about, okay, if you're adding 2, if you're adding 2, what if I say, okay, what is going to be the number in the 20th position? You understand it now? So you might not, then you will have to start adding 2 until you get to the 20th number. No, it doesn't work that way. So therefore, we need to find a structural formula that determines any number in any position, okay? So if you want to do something of such, you need to be mindful of the position. So let's see. Let's take this one as position 1, this one as position 2, as position 3, position 4, and so on and so forth. So I just need a few to make that point I want to make, okay? If you look at it very well, just take a look, that the position of the numbers somehow determine the values that you have. It means that if you multiply any position by 2, you are going to get the value on that position by observation, by careful observation. If you look at it very well, that if I multiply 2 by 2, I'll get 4. If I multiply 3 by 2, I'll get 6. If I multiply 4 by 2, I'll get 8. It means the general structural formula in terms of position for this series is going to be like, okay, let me just say UN, okay? Let me give it a general name or a general representation. Let me call the series U, okay? UN is equal to what? To N. That is what determines this thing. Where N is the term. N is the term, or let me call it the position. Okay? This is the first term, the second term, the third term, the fourth term, the fifth term, the sixth term, and so on and so forth. So we call the position terms. Okay? you will see that un is equal to 2n, where n is the term. So which means it's a situation whereby we have the fourth term, then u4 is going to be equal to what? 2 times 4, and that will be 8. Okay? So with this formula now, I can even determine what is going to be on the 20th term. I can say u20 is going to be equal to what? Which means the value of the number in this series in the 20th position is going to be 2 multiplied by 20, and I will get 40. Because that is the formula that determines the arrangement of numbers in this series. You understand what I'm trying to say? So that is what we mean by that. That's why they say a series is a succession. That is the way numbers follow each other, okay? A succession of numbers of which each number is formed according to a definite law. This is the law that guides this particular series in this example, okay? So, and it is the same throughout the series, which we have like that. I believe you get that clear. So, how did I generate this law? I took a careful observation. I took note of the position, and I tried to understand how the values are derived as per relation to the position. And then I developed the formula, and the formula happens to be true, and it works for every number, okay? So sometimes you'll be given a set of numbers in your exam, and then you'll be asked to determine the series that determines, or the series with which those numbers are formed. So what I just did is what you should do. Take a careful observation of how those numbers are growing, and then take note of the terms, and then generate a formula that can tally with that term and that will work for the term throughout. You understand? Okay, that will work for the series throughout, and then you are good. Okay, so let's just quickly play with a second example. Okay, let me check out for odd numbers. If I have 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, and it continues like that. And then the question wants me to determine the series for this, determine the formula or the sequence, okay, that determines how these guys move, okay? So because a sequence is a succession of terms spanned by a rule or formula, okay? We are still coming to that, but we are already applying it anyways in his own case here, okay? Now, he said, the thing is that there is a rule, there is a rule, there is a law, there is a law, there is a law that is guiding the formation of those numbers. I'm coming to this later, okay? Now, if you look at this, if you check it out, if I check, this is like, okay? This is n is equal to 1 here, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and so on. N is the position or the term, the nth term. Okay, this is the first term, second term, third term, fourth term, fifth term, sixth term, seventh term, and then we call it the nth term. Okay, now, so look at this. I want to know what happened. In looking at the first term, we have 1. All right, let's look at the second term. In the second term, we have 3. Okay? In the third term, we have 5. By thinking in my mind, to some people it could take them a lot of time to generate the formula for this kind of thing or for anything that you're given. But if you are so used to calculations, or you are somebody that is very quick in reasoning, or like that, you can easily look and then determine the formula for that term. But let me just show you what's up here. If you look at all these things very well, you will see that u, which is the value at any given instance of n, okay? Now here, when n is 1, u is 1. When n is 2, u is 3. When n is 3, u is 5, okay? It means that u in a particular value, if you look at it very well, is going to be something like like 2 times that value minus 1. All right, let's check it out, whether it is true. I was able to detect it from, I couldn't get it from 1, but I could get it from 2, from 3, from 4. I noticed that anything that we have, multiply that thing by 2, remove 1 from it, it will give you what the value on top. So this is our U. Let me call it, this is our U, okay? This is our N, which is the position. U is the values, all right? So a particular value in a particular position is determined by multiplying it by 2 and removing 1 from it. As for this particular series, okay? Every series may have their own structural formula, but this is the structural formula I was able to detect from this series. So let's see how true that is. If you multiply, if you say, okay, I want to know what is on U4, for instance, U4. U4 is 2 times 4, okay, minus 1. So 2 times 4 is 8. 8 minus 1 is what? Is 7, which is very true. All right. I want to know what is on U7. Let me say U7. U7 is 2 times 7, which is 14. Remove 1 from it, okay, you are going to get what? 13, and which is very true. And that applies even to 1. To 1, U1, okay? U1 is 2 times 1 minus 1. So 2 times 1 is 2. 2 minus 1 is 1, is 1, which is true. And then it goes on and on like that. So this is the general series for odd numbers. Okay, that's the formula for odd numbers. So any set that any series of any time you are given a set of numbers, you take note of how those numbers progress, and then you develop a formula for it, and then boom, you are there. Okay, so that is that as for that. Now, although we have different kind of, we have 2 major types of progression, which I'm going to explain to you shortly. But let's just quickly look at sequence. What is being said? It said a sequence. This one is a series, is a succession of numbers in which each number is formed according to a definite law, which is the same throughout the series, which I have proven to you. Now, a sequence is a succession of terms spanned by a rule or a formula, okay? A succession of terms, just like what we even have here in the example I gave you, okay? Spanned by a rule or a formula, but a sequence may be finite or what? Or infinite. The infinite sequence is the sequence that it goes on forever, it continues forever. It does not have an ending point. The finite sequence is the one that has a starting and an ending point. All right, so but when you have a sequence in such a way that you keep, the thing just keeps going on, and it does not have an ending, we call it an infinite sequence. All right, I don't know how much time we still have on our side for me to go into several examples to prove all of these things, but I'm just going to restrict myself to the coverage of the course material, the areas where that the course material covers, and then so that we can quickly move on to touch other topics, okay? Then in the class, okay, or in the handouts, you are going to have a series, like a lot of examples, okay? From the material I gave to you, so many examples are there that you can learn from. But this lesson is just to give you an idea of what is going on there, so that by the time you go back there and you check it out, then you will understand exactly what is happening there, okay? So, good. Now, to explain the second one, right, it's not as if it's not looking as if there is a difference between the two, okay? But then, what stands as a difference between the two, when you're talking about a series, we are talking about numbers arranged in a particular way, in a special manner. When we are talking about sequence, we are talking about values or that are gotten according to a particular rule, or according to a particular, they follow a particular pattern. Do you understand? So that is for sequence, okay? Very familiar, because it also needs formula. Now, in this case, you'll be given a particular formula. Okay, for instance, now, this one, you know, in this one now, we wrote a set of questions, a set of values, and then we technically generated the formula. Sometimes you'll be given the formula, and then you'll be asked to use the formula to generate the terms that follow. So that is that for sequence, okay? You'll be given a formula, and then, okay, then you'll be asked to generate the values that follow based on terms, okay? So that is what happens in the case of sequence. For instance, now, you can be given, maybe they said, okay, UN is equal to something like UN is equal to n plus 1 divided by 2n minus 1, all right? You may be given this kind of formula like this now, okay? They now say, okay, generate the sequence or find the first 4 terms, you know, just anything, okay? Find the first 4 terms. In this case now, we have been given the formula for the sequence, and then we want to generate what is going to happen, what are the values of the first 4 terms. Maybe we just want to know what the 4 terms are. So the formula is already given, all right? So what we'll do is that you just say U1, that is the first term, is equal to what? Because here now, n is equal to 1, so we say 1 plus 1 divided by 2 times 1 minus 1, all right? So that will be 1 plus 1 is 2, divided by 2 times 1 minus 1. 2 times 1 is 2, then 2 minus 1 is 1. And then that will be what? That will be 2. So we have been able to generate the value of the first one. So the second term, that will be U2, a case whereby n is equal to 2. We're looking at the second term now. Then we have 2 plus 1 divided by 2 times 2 and minus 1. So 2 plus 1 is 3 divided by 2 times 2, which is 4 minus 1. And then that is, that will be 3 divided by 4 minus 1 is 3. Okay? Yeah. And then making it to be equal to 1. Okay? All right, so that's that. Then the third one will be 3 plus 1 over 2, then 1 minus 1. Okay? So 3 plus 1 is 4 over 2 times 1. 2 times 1 is, 2, 3. 2 times 3 is 6. Okay, 6 minus 1 is 5. So the answer for this one is 4 over 5. And then just goes on and on. The same thing, just do the fourth one also. That is U4 will be equal to, 4 plus 1, that's 5, divided by 2 times 4 minus 1. So 4 plus 1 is 5, divided by 2 times 4, 8. 8 minus 1 is 7. And so it goes on and on. So which means you have a series, you have the series of that sequence determined as what? As 2, and then the next one, 1, the next one, 4 over 5, the next one, 5 over 7, and so on and so forth. So this is the series for this particular sequence. You understand it now? So that is how it goes on and on and on and on like that. It's as simple as that. So in the next video, I'm going to explain to you the 2-case scenario, which is this 2-case scenario of progression. Okay, so how series progress can be. Series can either progress by adding some kind of value, or it can progress by multiplying value. So the one that progresses by addition, we call it the arithmetic progression, or the one that progresses by addition or subtraction, and the one that progresses geometrically, or which means by multiplication and division, that one is called the geometric progression. So we are going to talk about that in the next video. All right, so cool off on this one and play with a couple of examples, and I'll be back. Bye.